hidden vault exposed Rita Hayworth's meaning after her death, startling everyone. Hollywood tries to hide studio exploitation, family treachery, and terrible facts. This isn't another celebrity scandal. It's how America's favorite star endured in quiet for decades. Brooklyn-born Rita Hayworth was born October 17, 1918. Margarita Carmen Canino was her true name. Her Spanish father brought flamenco to America as a dancer. Since Rita's childhood, her mother, an American with Irish and English heritage, had performed as Zig Feld Folly's girl. Rita's grandfather, Antonio Canino, famously taught Spanish dance in Madrid. He introduced Rita to dance at 3.5 years old, and she practiced daily. Rita subsequently admitted she didn't like dancing as a child, but was afraid to tell her father. Practice dominated her upbringing, leaving little time for enjoyment. A short film called Hola Fiesta starred Rita at 8. Soon after moving to Hollywood in 1927, her father founded a dance school where James Kagi studied. Rita's show business upbringing affected her future without her knowing it. She began performing professionally with her father, aged 12. They created the Dancing Nightclub Act. To avoid California's child labor rules, her father dyed her brown hair black to make her look older and exotic. He also took her to adult clubs in Tijuana, Mexico, where she worked long hours due to her hectic schedule. Her high school career ended in 9th grade. At 16, Rita was dancing with her father at the Caliente Club in Tijuana when the head of Fox Film Corporation saw her and invited her to a meeting about becoming a celebrity. Sheen granted her a 6-month Fox deal after she passed a screen test. This was her Hollywood debut. Rita began acting under her true identity. The modest roles in Margarita Canino's early films helped her learn the technique. She played exotic roles in Hollywood because she was Spanish. These roles helped her learn the art but didn't make her famous. Rita joined Columbia Pictures 1937. Then everything changed. She needed a fresh look, so the studio dyed her hair red to be more American and elevated her hairline with painful electrolysis. This raised her forehead, making her look more attractive. Rita Hayworth, her mother's maiden name, was her new name. Her alterations were made to meet Hollywood's beauty standards. Her breakthrough came in 1939 with Rita Hayworth's modest role as Judy McPherson, the wife of a disgraced aviator, in Only Angels Have Wings in 1939, launched her career. Rita almost didn't get a screen test because another actress was picked first, but Harry Kahn, Columbia Pictures' boss, trusted in her. Howard Hawks gave her the minor role because he liked how she looked on camera. Rita caught attention. Rita appeared on Life magazine after the movie's success that year. Fame brought more possibilities and launched her career. Rita's dancing skills shined in 2 Fred hair flicks, You Were Never Lovelier, 1942, and You'll Never Get Rich, 1941. Fred was hesitant to dance with Rita because she was inexperienced, but after one rehearsal, he changed his mind. Because his world was, she learned faster than everyone else he worked with. They filmed another movie for You Were Never Lovelier after their first was a hit. She fainted during a difficult rehearsal in a funeral home rental attic, but she stood up and continued. Fred dubbed her his favorite dancing partner, perhaps more than Ginger Rogers, for her dedication. Rita became a Hollywood sensation during World War II because to the singles, Life magazine featured her in a black lace nightgown. She was termed the redhead we would most like to be shipwrecked with. The picture made her a symbol of beauty and glamour, but it also gave her a public image she struggled to shake. Rita and Gene Kelly featured in Columbia Pictures' first Technicolor musical, CoverGirl, in 1944. It was a career highlight for Rita. Kelly, who was gaining in fame, collaborated with Rita on fantastic dance routines. The first scene, Kelly dancing with his reflection, took 2 days to film and is famous. Rita played two characters in the film, demonstrating her acting versatility. $3 Rita was a Hollywood superstar. Orson Welles, her husband, used to surprise her with champagne after work, making her busy life more pleasurable. Rita's Gilda role immortalized her. Her debut scene, in which she tossed her hair and grinned while uttering "me, me, me," is among the most renowned in film. She did a sensual glove striptease during blamed Mim in the movie, which was controversial and restricted. Profits exceeded $38 million for the film, $75 million, and made Rita a femme fatale. She famously quipped, "Men go to bed with Gilda, but wake up with me," expressing her dissatisfaction with being a gorgeous sex symbol. Gilda's influence went beyond Hollywood. Her picture was put on an atomic bomb tested at Bikini ATL to celebrate her as a bombshell. Rita was furious. Still, Gilda's performance cemented her status as a Hollywood icon. Rita Hayworth married Edward Judson at 18. Her father, Eduardo Canino, wanted to help Rita become a Hollywood celebrity and thought Edward had contacts. Edward soon convinced Rita to marry him. They escaped to Las Vegas for a little ceremony. Rita, who had grown up in a strict Catholic environment and spent most of her childhood performing with her father's dancing act, didn't know much about relationships or the real world. Rita was barely out of her teens, and Edward was middle-aged and behaved more like a supervisor or parent than a husband. After they married, he changed her life drastically. His zealous promotion made her a Hollywood star, but Judson controlled everything, even her personal life. Even after becoming renowned, Rita termed it servitude, not marriage. He broke Rita and wasted her money on his lifestyle and dangerous business enterprises. When they divorced in 1942, court papers showed he had taken out loans in her name without her knowledge. The wealthy Rita was left with almost nothing. Judson controlled her roles, schedule, and plastic surgery, not just money. Worse, he offered her to studio officials for higher parts, traumatizing Rita. Rita remarked, "From the first time he told me I couldn't do anything for myself, my personality crept deeper and deeper into a shell." Her troubles continued. She drank to calm down after reading Dante's Inferno. When she married Judson, her drinking was a problem, but he encouraged it to make her more obedient in studio executive meetings. Pressure from her career fueled her drinking. On You'll Never Get Rich in 1941, crew members observed her frequent hangovers. Instead of aiding her, studio executives and Columbia Pictures boss Harry Kahn supplied her dressing area with wine to control her privately. Rita felt shackled. Her 1943 journal post stated, "I can't face the cameras without a drink anymore. The lights, the expectations, it's all too much." In 1946, her drinking caused set delays. Rita Hayworth and Orson Welles enjoyed a movie-like romance. Welles spotted Hayworth on Life's 1942 cover in Brazil. He fell in love and promised to marry her in Hollywood. He chased her enthusiastically, and their connection was fast and exciting. Welles performed magic illusions like slicing Hayworth in half in his Mercury Wonders show for troops. On September 7, 1943, Welles surprised Hayworth with a casual wedding at Santa Monica City Hall during her lunch break from filming CoverGirl. Their lone witness was Welles's buddy, Joseph Cotten. No one, not even the press, knew about the wedding until the couple announced it on Welles' radio show that night. The notion worried Columbia Pictures boss Harry Kahn that it would damage Hayworth's image. After their honeymoon, they returned to work, and Welles encouraged Hayworth to read about politics and literature. Studio executives didn't like her abandoning her pinup image. After 18 hours of labor, their daughter Rebecca Welles was born via emergency C-section on December 17, 1944. Welles came to the hospital in time and exclaimed, "She has my nose and Rita's everything else." In 1947, they worked on the noir thriller The Lady from Shanghai High, hoping to restore their marriage. The concept got studio approval because while Hayworth was the star, Wells scandalized her by cutting and bleaching her red hair platinum blonde. The studio and fans raged. Wells was cruel and demanding during filming. He made Hayworth cry by reshooting a scene 29 times. Filming the Hall of Mirrors segment with 2,500 pounds of glass took 11 days and produced spectacular images. It was clear their relationship was struggling. Hayworth later stated, "I guess I made it too realistic. He was the great love of my life, but on the screen I had to play a woman who hated him." Wells had an affair with 21-year-old Gloria Vanderbilt while pregnant. Wells' relationship with Hayworth's close friend Judy Garland damaged her. Hayworth found Garland's love letters in Wells' study on her 27th birthday. The final straw was Hayworth catching Wells with a local extra in his trailer in Acapulco while filming The Lady from Shanghai. She was so mad she flung a film canister at him, missing his head. 3 days without filming while they reconciled was too late. Hayworth tried her hardest to save their marriage. She accepted Coop's therapy, which was rare at the time, and considered turning Catholic for Wells. In November 1947, she filed for divorce, claiming Wells had been gone for 347 days of their 3-year marriage. Love and promise turned into betrayal and grief. At the Cannes Film Festival on July 3, 1948, Rita Hayworth met Prince Ali. Ali's exotic beauty and charisma drew her after she divorced Orson Welles. Photographers followed them across Europe, and they married for $1,000 on May 27, 1949. Chateau d'Yonne near Cannes hosted the gathering for about 500 people. They drank 600 champagne bottles and ate 50 pounds caviar. Ars Jacquard wedding dress cost. The wedding was global, with 14 pages in Life magazine. It blended Western and Islamic customs to demonstrate their differences. However, the Catholic Church declared their marriage invalid because Ali was Muslim and had been married previously. Rita was 2 months pregnant, but kept it a secret. Rita's new existence as a princess was dreamlike but difficult. She joined a wealthy royal family and had many new responsibilities. She gave birth to Princess Yasmin in Switzerland on December 28, 1949. Yasmin weighed 7b8 Oz. Rita gave birth in Switzerland to give Yasmin neutral Swiss citizenship. The birth was celebrated worldwide, and Hassan III Ali's father gave the man a gold rattle. Rita was happy, but the press slammed her for gaining 55 pounds throughout her pregnancy, which didn't fit her elegant image. She also disliked royal practices like raising Yasmin with nannies. Rita often disregarded royal laws to see her daughter. Rita struggled to conform to her new job, learning Arabic, studying the Quran, and wearing a headscarf. These contrasted with her American upbringing. She toured East Africa with Ali for 3 months in 1950. This vacation was termed Champagne Safari. Rita felt out of place in royal life. Polygamy, even though Ali didn't have other wives, upset her. She hated how everyone judged her life, from her clothes to her behavior. Learning French was another problem. Most of her friends spoke French, which she found hard to learn. Giving up acting made her feel lost because she missed her career and purpose. Ali's affairs quickly destroyed their marriage. Ali danced with Joan Fontaine at a Paris nightclub where they met a year after their marriage in June 1950. Rita was distraught because she was at home with Yasmin. Ali cheated on numerous women, including Pamela Churchill and model Latina Graciano, according to rumors. Ali had affairs on the French Riviera with various women while Rita was in America. In early 1950, Ali's public affair with Joan Fontaine's sister Olivia de Havilland was the final straw. Rita left Ali for the U.S. with Yasmin. In Hollywood, she struggled. Columbia Pictures demanded $150,000 for breaking her contract to marry Ali. Rita was virtually broke after spending most of her money on the marriage. In Trinidad 1952, her first film in years, she starred in An Affair to Get Work. The studio promoted the movie as There Never Was a Woman Like Rita Back in the Arms of Glenn Ford. Rita struggled, but the movie was a hit. She grew sad, drank regularly, and was late to work. Ali for Yasmin, custody making her life worse. Yasmin's custody struggle was a renowned 1950s judicial case. Rita filed for divorce on September 2, 1951, calling her husband abusive and psychotic. Raising their daughter Yasmin was the main challenge. Ali wants to raise her Muslim in Europe and the Middle East. However, Rita wanted her kid to be a healthy Christian American girl. Ali offered $1 million, about $10 million today, to raise Yasmin as a Muslim and let her visit him in Europe every year, but Rita refused to give up Yasmin's chance to live in America with our freedoms and traditions. The battle worsened in 8 years. A judge placed Tasmin and her half-sister Rebecca in foster care in 1954 for maltreatment. Rita believed Ali's lifestyle was harmful for Yasmin, while Ali called her an alcoholic and emotionally disturbed. The press covered every argument, making Rita's stress level worse. In 1955, Rita secured primary custody of Tasmin and raised him as a Christian in the U.S., while Ali received 2 months of visiting annually. The incident scarred Rita's reputation and plagued her with drink and sadness. Yasmin's life changed once Ali left, and the public fight pushed her to help others. Eduardo began mistreating Rita at 12 years old. This hurt Rita for a long time. Although Rita and her dad danced together, Eduardo was cruel to her behind the scenes. At 14, he pulled her out of school, clothed her in adult clothes, and taught her obscene dances. This negative behavior occurred daily, sometimes multiple times. Rita felt afraid but reliant on Eduardo because he was her dance partner and career manager as well as her attacker. Rita's nasty mother tried to help her, knowing something was wrong. When Rita and Eduardo danced, Volger couldn't defend her. She may have felt powerless to stop Eduardo because she had given up dancing to marry him and was afraid to speak up. Rita and her mother must have felt sorrowful throughout this period. Rita's father wasn't the only terrible influence on her life and profession. Harry Hayworth, Columbia Pictures head, worked hard for 20 years. He transformed Margarita Carmen Canino into Rita Hayworth, raised her hairline painfully, and colored her black hair to match his. He sought to break up her 1941 relationship with Orson Welles because he feared it would ruin her image. He even hired private detectives to track and report on her. She intended to protest her photo on an atomic bomb in 1946, but Dad stopped her because it was unpatriotic. He bugged her dressing room, which was alarming. Hayworth claims he installed hidden microphones to listen to her private discussions. She was terrified someone was listening, so she couldn't relax or chat. She believed he bugged her sound stages to hear what she said to others. She drank habitually because she felt paranoid and alone. Kahn also pursued sexual encounters with actresses. Hayworth declined when he first tried when she was 18 and new to Columbia. After Gilda made her famous in 1946, he tried to attack her in his office, but she escaped. He was furious at her reluctance and had her work hard and correct little mistakes. Over $12,000 was penalized for trivial things in 1948. Even still, Hayworth persisted. She informed Glenn Ford she would die rather than succumb into Kahn. She inspired other actresses with her bravery in defying him. Even though she was a global superstar, she was underpaid. After Gilda, she made $3,000 a week, less than stars at other studios, down from $250 in 1000. 937.com lent her to other studios. Columbia got $50,000 for Blood and Sand in 1941, but she got $450 a week. She was never paid for her famous pinup shot from World War II. Even though it was used on the atomic bomb tests at Bikini, the studio gained millions from it. Hayworth started a strike in 1947 to get better salary and treatment. Kahn suspended her without pay and threatened to replace her with younger actresses. Hayworth had to return under the same terms. I realized Harry Kahn regarded me as a target to exploit and profit from. Hayworth Dev suffered insomnia, worry, and depression, and drank more as Kahn and the studio system pressured her. By the early 1950s, her mental health issues hampered her job and personal life. Hayworth struggled with money in her final years, despite her career and millions for Columbia. She struggled in retirement and Alzheimer's disease due to estate mismanagement and no movie residuals. She couldn't afford proper care. When she reached 40 in the late 1950s, people noticed her behavior changed. On the 1958 film Separate Tables, she kept forgetting her lines and had to repeat easy scenes. Although her co-star Burt Lancaster felt she was nervous, the problem worsened. Her behavior was noticeable by the early 1960s. She shouted and left the money trap set in 1963 after becoming unhappy with the director. Everyone felt she was acting out because she drank heavily since the 1940s. Rita seemed lost and confused at a 1966 press presentation for The Poppy is Also a Flower, and reporters observed she couldn't answer basic questions regarding her character. Many others, including her daughter Yasmin, thought she was drinking, but physicians discovered these were Alzheimer's disease symptoms years later. At the time, few knew about it. Rita's condition worsened in the 1970s. By 1972, she couldn't remember enough lines for leads. In her last major film, The Wrath of God, the filmmaker used cue cards and several shoots to complete her sequences. Her issues were highlighted in 1974 when she appeared on the Carol Burnett show and forgot cues and looked blank. Burnett had to carefully assist her through the performance. A saddest time was when she was scheduled to present. She was replaced and quietly taken home from the Emmy Awards because she couldn't recall why she was there or what she was meant to do. By 1977, she couldn't live alone and sought alcoholism treatment in a hospital. Even when she stopped drinking, her cognition got worse, and her physicians weren't sure why. Rita's Alzheimer's was diagnosed in 1980. Yasmin, her daughter, revealed it in 1981 to raise awareness of the disorder. Rita was one of the first celebrities linked to the condition. President Reagan commended her bravery in disclosing her diagnosis. Soon after, Arch funded Alzheimer's research. Yasmin worked hard to raise awareness and funds for research as more people learnt about the cancer. The 1983 Rita Hayworth Gala earned almost $1 million for Alzheimer's research. These events were great successes, raising tens of millions of dollars to battle the disease every year. Yasmin stayed with Rita as she deteriorated. She became Rita's legal guardian in 1981 and transferred her to New York. By 1983, Rita couldn't recognize herself or others. Yasmin visited her mother daily and read to her, but the condition worsened. Yasmin stayed with Rita during her coma. On May 14, 1987, Rita Hayworth died. Rita died quietly with her daughter holding her hand. Celebrities honored her at her burial. Yasmin decorated Rita's casket with crimson roses, her favorite. Hayworth's makeup container contained Orson Welles' love letters after her 1987 death. Years later, on September 20, 2001, a Christie's auction in Los Angeles revealed this incredible find. The letters are now in the Wells collection at the Lilly Library in Indiana. 8 handwritten notes totaling 23 pages, most from New York in 1943, were sent to Mesotron Wells and signed by Wells. 3 watercolor paintings of Wells showing a lonely woman were attached. A young husband misses his wife because he works. In one letter, the reader is moved. "Dearest angel girl," it continues, "I think most of us are lonely in this big world, but we must fall deeply in love to find out that the cure is the discovery of our need for company." By company, he means the type we've known since we met, the delights of, "I've found life empty without that friendship. Without it, joy is as painful as sorrow. You truly are my life. I can't picture hope without you. Beautiful, sweet baby, hurry up the sun and shorten the days until we meet. I just love you. Your boy Orson." The letters showed how much they loved each other at the start, but how problematic their marriage became.